Hey there everybody, welcome back. This year, instead of doing a scent of the month for each month, I've decided to change things up a little bit. I'm not going to worry too much about picking a particular fragrance for any given month. I'm just going to do a kind of month in review, month in perfume sort of thing, talk about what I've tried, stuff I've bought, what I've worn the most, and keep it a little bit more casual. So there won't be any nominated scent of the month and then a scent of the year at the end of the year. I'm a bit over that. So I'm just going to talk about January 2021. Very exciting to start this year, and it's been pretty good perfume-wise. I have actually, what I'll talk about first is my most worn fragrance for January. Now, I actually wore this on New Year's Eve, and I've worn it a few times during the month, and it's a Frederic Malle fragrance called French Lover, and I believe for a time in the US or outside of the US it was called Bois d'Orage, but French Lover is probably what it's more well known as. This to me is a very green fragrance consisting predominantly, to my nose, I get a lot of Angelica, which is quite a distinct green note. I only recognize it because I have some Angelica raw material, and it's difficult to describe. It can get a little bit of a medicinal vibe about it, not so much, it's watery as well. It's actually probably more green watery, but then there is also galbanum here, so it's grassy. It's being currently into green fragrances. I've been really enjoying wearing this. I'm still undecided about whether this one is bottle worthy, because as good as it smells going on, unfortunately I must either get anosmic to it after a couple of hours, or it just doesn't last on my skin. And given that it's a Malle, it's a bit of an investment. So I still think that my first Frederic Malle bottle will eventually be Noir d'Épices, because I really like that, and I've actually missed wearing that since my samples finished. So that was my most worn, French Lover by Frederic Malle. What have I been sampling? Late last year, ordered a custom discovery set from US indie perfumer Olympic Orchids. And if you go on the website, which I'll link in the description, you can actually make up a 7 sample, I think there are various options, but I got a 7 sample set and I could pick any 7 of the perfumes, and there's lots of perfumes on that website. I ordered Dev 2, I think it's called, the longer name is Devil Act 2, the main act, Woodcut, Night Flyer, Salamanca, Blackbird, and Bay Rum. And what I do like about Olympic Orchids is that they're very generously sized. They're like 3 ml samples each, and it's only $29 US, which seems to me like very, very good value. And so I've been testing these over the month. I've worn each of them 2 or 3 times already, and I can tell you that the highlights so far for me are Dev 2 and Night Flyer, but I already knew what Night Flyer was going to smell like, and I can just say, if anyone does miss the original bat formulation and doesn't want to spend too much to try and find one, just please order a bottle of Night Flyer from Olympic Orchids, because it is that perfume. I didn't love all the samples, particularly the ones that didn't vibe with me were Salamanca. The idea was interesting, and I thought I was going to like it more. There is leather, and there's also supposedly a clay note. I think just on my skin, it kind of turns into a little bit of a mess, and it's actually not to me, not very pleasant to wear and smell. And the other one I didn't like that much, although there's nothing particularly wrong with it, is Blackbird. And I think that the note of blackberry or cassis is just not one that I actually enjoy wearing and smelling either. And I've noticed this in other perfumes that feature this note strongly as well. So it's not really anything wrong with the composition itself. This one is really a matter of not particularly liking the smell on my skin. Woodcut is very nice, but the two I really like are Dev 2. Dev 2, I'll just quickly give an overview, is one of the best labdanum notes that I've smelled in perfume, and it's dominated by labdanum. It's smoky, it's resinous, it's quite a dark, warm fragrance, and you know, there's lots of woods, resins, but labdanum is what dominates. So you get that beautiful touch of sweetness, the smoke, and that gooey resin in Dev 2. Really enjoyable. Bottles I've acquired in January. Now, I mentioned this, I think, in a live stream I might have done. I might have mentioned this in the live stream I did with Cherie not long ago, that this year I really want to focus on curating my wardrobe as opposed to accumulating in my wardrobe. And I have set myself limits in terms of new bottle acquisitions, and what I'm working on at the moment, what I've decided to work on, and this might change, but the only way I can really be serious about this is that if I'm to acquire a new bottle, I'm going to limit myself to one per month, okay? And before that new bottle can come in, I have to choose 2 bottles from my existing wardrobe that aren't that need to leave, basically. And so it will make me really think about whether I want that new bottle more than I want these 2 nominated bottles that have hit the scrap heap. So my first purchase of 2021 is from Diptyque, and I've done a review. My samples run out and I miss it and I wanted it. This is Oud PALAO, beautiful, my favorite rose oud, and I only need this one and I'm happy. It's just a wonderful, warm rose oud. It's got so many characteristics and facets to it that I find other rose ouds that I've smelled a bit two-dimensional compared to this one. So I did also get another bottle, but this one I did not purchase. It was actually gifted to me, and I'll tell you a little bit behind the story of this. So I've been after this bottle for probably over a year now. Since I first sampled it, I've been on the lookout for one, and I started to think it was going to be impossible to find one in the version that I wanted. And local Facebook group, there was one being sold at a very good price. And as happens in Facebook groups sometimes, I was the first to comment saying, I'll take it, it's sold. And then I was messaged by the seller a little bit afterwards saying someone had already messaged him and sold it. So for 5 minutes, I thought I had this bottle, but because I know many wonderful people in fragrance circles, I got to talking to someone who mentioned that they also loved this perfume and had backup bottles and were happy to let me have one of them. And this is my bottle of DZONGKHA by L'Artisan Parfumeur. This was gifted to me, and I'm so grateful for that, and the fact that I've got this version and a nearly full bottle of DZONGKHA in my wardrobe. I'm so happy. Right at this moment, I do not have any full bottles on my wish list. So I don't think I've ever quite really been in this position before where I'm very happy with all the bottles I have. I'm not, I don't have any FOMO about any other bottles that are out there or any other perfumes that are out there. And because I did acquire 2 bottles in January, so my quota's full for February as well, I did still manage to get rid of 4. So my net wardrobe number is -2 so far for 2021. Let's see what happens for the rest of the year, but I'm on track still. And January's been fun, and I hope you guys have had a good January, and I hope it's a good sign for the rest of the year. It's got to be better than last year, right? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all later. Bye.